must apologize that I'm now doing the September face value after the magazines actually hit the street. And generally we like to do this before the magazine hits the street to give you a sort of a sense of what's to come. But I have a very good excuse. I was actually away traveling around the country and looking at some of the beautiful parts of the country that really remind me what an incredible place it is to be. But part of that time was spent applying my mind to a series of public lectures, which by the time you watch this, I'll probably have completely delivered all of them. But what struck me was the need to find a way of, when you're dealing with particularly technical subjects, to find a way of sharing information which is useful to both technical people and in fact the lay public. And I think that that's one of the biggest challenges that we face as engineers. How is it that we can make what we do, which really is confined to our own little world, seem far more accessible to a broader audience? And one of the points I made in my comment I thought was very significant. I went to a presentation a few weeks ago where there was a bloke with a humanities background, and I've got nothing against people with a humanities background, but what he was saying was how fortunate graduating students coming from the humanities were, because unlike engineers, they were not confined to a rule-bound paradigm. Now, the interesting thing to me was, it sort of struck me like a ton of bricks that here was an individual who actually didn't understand creative concepts inside the world in which engineers work. And after all, our world is governed by physical principles, and indeed these are rules. And certainly we don't want to kill too many people, so we do develop best practice and standards which we comply with. But the interesting thing is, the amount of creativity and design around that, even within the confines of these rules, is absolutely spectacular. And then you realize that so many people are actually unable to grasp that palette of design and creativity and in fact innovation. And I thought there was a message in that to all of us to say, how is it that we can share with regular folk the excitement of what we do? Because at the end of the day, what we do is in fact remarkably exciting. Then folk, on a final note, you will see that next to me this week is an empty chair. And I have it in mind to put into this chair a number of our editors over the next couple of weeks, because what I want them to do is to also share with you some of the stuff that's happening inside the magazines. And by the way, I'm aware that face value is actually making an impact. I had a bloke from Australia contact me the other day to point out that, contrary to what I thought, he'd never missed listening to one of them. I was incredibly touched to hear that. Thank you.